for this?
I'm here with the 2013 semi-state champs. The Linton Miner basketball team is making history. So I wanted to talk to several involved about all the excitement this town is experiencing this week before the state finals. Zach Figley, you've been at practice this week. What's the plan for Saturday's game?
We gon' go all night. We gon' light it up like it's dynamite. 'Cause I told you once, now I told you twice. We gon' light it up like it's dynamite.
Jackson Boner, you're up next. You've said that your best contribution to this team is your defensive skills. How do you defend against the other team?
Throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying ayo.
I'd like to call Cody Coker up to the mic next. Cody, have you noticed a difference in your popularity after the semi-state win?
After a couple of weekends, the groupies were crawling all over the place.
Damian Russell, you were in the pep block during the semi-state game. After the game, one of the Bowman Academy boys was overheard talking about taking on Linton. What did he say?
I can't win, I can't reign, I will never win this game.
Next, I'd like to call Jansen Franklin up to the mic. Jansen, how do you think this year's semi-state victory will be remembered?
This could be one of those memories we want to hold on to, cling to, and one we can't forget.
Austin, with 1.5 seconds left, what were your thoughts about that moment when you inbounds the ball to the opposite end of the court?
What if this was that moment, a chance we're taking, history in the making.
My next question is for Bryant Jackson. Bryant, you said after the regional championship that your parents had given you some advice. Did they give you some advice for preparing for the state final game? I'd like to call Des Fugers up. Des, how would you say Miner City came to be?
We built this city. We built this city.
I think Coach Hart needs to be commended on this team's postseason run to the state finals. Coach, what do you need for Saturday's game?
I need a hero. I'm holding on for a hero till the morning light. He's gotta be sure, and he's gotta be soon, and he's gotta be larger than life.
I'd like to talk to Josh Graber. Josh, you've been around and been very supportive of this varsity basketball team. How would you describe their defensive play?
Welcome to the jungle.
I talked with athletic director and father Charlie Carazia earlier in the week and asked him, where does AK get all of his athletic ability?
He gets that from me. Yeah, he gets that from me.
What about his good grades and charming personality?
He gets that from me. Yeah, he gets that from me.
Next, I'd like to talk to Joe D-Ball. Do you have any words for Bowman Academy?
It's been a long time coming, and the tables turn around, 'cause one of us is going, one of us is going down. I'm not running, it's a little different now, 'cause one of us is going, one of us is going down.
Drew Whitty, my next question is for you. What are you going to do if Coach Hart calls on you to step up during the state game?
One way or another, I'm gonna find ya. I'm gonna get you.
I've got Keith Folk here. And Keith, what did you say to the boys who were all over you trying to steal the ball during that semi-state game?
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't
touch this. Can't touch this.
My next question is for Coach Hawkins. How would you describe Jackson Bonert when he's on the court?
Bad to the bone.
Coach Koziak's up next. Coach, what's going to keep you from bringing home that state trophy?
Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough.
I'd like to speak to Cole Riggleman next. Cole, how did that semi-state win feel when the final seconds ticked off the clock at Richmond?
It feels like the first time. It feels like the very first time.
I was able to catch Speedway's coach after their loss in the semi-state and asked him, how do you feel about the loss to Linton?
Yeah, it hurts so bad.
I want to talk to Des again. Is it true that you told your teammates during that semi-state game to just get you the ball? Then what?
And I can take it from there.
I was able to catch up with Linton's principal, Nathan Moore, after the semi-state championship game Saturday and asked him, what do you have to say about the Miners bringing home a state title?
It'd sure be cool if you did.
My next question is for Ryan Woodward. Ryan, it's been said that you're the sixth man on the team. How do you feel about that?
Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand.
Zach Johnson's the next person I'd like to talk to. Zach, what has the atmosphere been like around school this week?
We're screaming like demons and swinging from the ceiling.
I'd like to speak to Adrena McDonald. This dream season for the 2013 minor basketball season is about to come to an end. How would you sum it up?
Nothing but a good time, and it don't get better than this.
My next question is for Coach Hart. What has been the practice plan for the week before the state tournament?
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
I have another question for Jackson Bonert. I know Coach Hart is known as a compassionate individual. What does he say to pull the best out of you when you don't think you have anything left to give?
Hold on if you feel like letting go. Hold on, it gets better than you know. Don't stop looking, you're one step closer. Don't stop searching, it's not over. Hold on.
I would like to speak to Big Joe Hart next. Since you've been to the state final games before, what advice do you have for your son?
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road.
Zach Rydell, we've heard a lot of buzz about how good Bowman Academy is. What are your thoughts?
We got no fear, no doubt, all in balls out.
I've got a question for Chad Trent. How would you describe your association with this year's semi-state champ team? My next question is for Bo Eaton. If Coach Hart calls on you to play defense against Bowman Academy, what will be your game plan?
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
Andrew Woods, how would you describe what it's like to be around this team?
It's always a good time. Whoa, it's always a good time.
I'd like to talk to Coach Hart again. We heard that when your dad went to the state finals, you had to sit 27 rows up. Did you have any trouble getting tickets for this state game?
The best seat in the house.
Next, I'd like to talk to Pierce Jackson. Pierce, do you think the officials can tell what Coach Hart is thinking even when he isn't yelling at them?
Looks good here.
I realize that the unspoken hero to a successful team sometimes is a good manager, so I asked the Linton Miner basketball team, what do you have to say about your senior manager, Trent Wilkes?
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
My next question is for Sam Dyer. Sam, one of the team's goals was to play 7 postseason games. How do you predict the outcome?
All 7 and we'll watch them fall.
Jacob Clothier, what is your outlook going into the state championship game against Bowman Academy?
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night.
Next, I'd like to talk to the cheerleaders as a group. You've done a great job coming up with themes to try to get more student involvement at the games. What is the theme for the state finals?
Stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
I think I'll wrap it up by talking to Coach Hart one more time. Joey, when you reflect on the last 3 years coaching at Linton High School, how would you describe your team's progress?
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
I'd like to say thanks to everyone for speaking with us, and good luck to the Linton Miners, and bring home that state title.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah.